The third Courage and Commitment Award is being given to the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. The Lawyers Committee was formed in 1963 at the request of President John F. Kennedy to enlist the private bar's leadership and resources in combating racial discrimination and the resulting inequality of opportunity. It marshals the pro bono resources of the bar for litigation, transactional assistance, public policy advocacy, education of the public, and other forms of service by lawyers to the cause of civil rights. The Lawyers Committee has been actively enforcing the Fair Housing Act on Long Island for many years and has successfully litigated 3 important Fair Housing Act cases. The first 2 are exclusionary zoning cases alleging discriminatory zoning and land use decisions by 2 Long Island jurisdictions. And the third was a case on behalf of a class of African American and Latino persons who were seeking Section 8 vouchers and challenged the town's policy of giving preference for Section 8 vouchers to residents already living in the town. However, the Lawyers Committee is a national organization that has achieved national prominence in a lot of areas. And since its inception, the Lawyers Committee has been a key player in the fight for voting rights. It has been led since 1989 by Barbara Arnwine, President and Executive Director, who is internationally known for her contributions on critical justice issues, including passage of the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1991 and the creation of the 2011 Voting Rights Map of Shame. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Barbara Arnwine to you. I have just met her today for the first time, and she is a joy to be with, as you have witnessed a little bit of. So please join me in welcoming Barbara.
Thank you. What a beautiful award. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Elaine, and thanks, Erase Racism, for this wonderful award. I also want to say congratulations to our sister organizations, the NAACP-LDF and the Anti-Discrimination Center, and to thank you and congratulate you for your great work. On behalf of the Lawyers Committee, I want to offer my deep gratitude to Erase Racism for everything you do, not only for honoring us, but for your courage, your incredible work, your persistence, and the importance that you bring to this quest for true integration and diversity in our world. You see, it means so much to us to be honored during the year. That is the anniversary, of course, of the 60th anniversary of Brown versus Board. That is the 50th anniversary, not only of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, but it's also the 50th anniversary of what made it possible to have a Civil Rights Act, made it possible to have what would become the Voting Rights Act, and that is Freedom Summer. We got to remember that it was that movement. It was people's sacrifice, people's walking in the streets. It was the blood sacrifice of Medgar Evers that brought into being the Lawyers Committee. There would be no such creature. John F. Kennedy just didn't call us together because it sounded good. He called us together because he was horrified at the slaughter and assassination of Medgar Evers. It is because of Fannie Lou Hamer that we can talk about voting rights. It is because of all of the sacrifice that so many did. Talk about Swerner, Shady and Cook. It is because of every one of them that we have any kind of laws on the books that we can enforce through our litigation. So it is because of this that I stand here tonight. And I thank you for this incredible honor. But I would be remiss in not saying that I've been rewarded already, because when I walked through the door, some of my best friends in the universe, as they say, not just BFFs, but the universal BFFs, came up to me, and that was the Lindsay family. George, Mary, Brian, Rachel, everybody who's here from the Lindsay family, would you please stand up, because the Lindsay family has been one of the biggest funders of the Lawyers Committee and has been critical to our having a beautiful fellowship that has done great, great, great work. Thank you, thank you. There they are, thank you. Rachel came all the way from Nicaragua to be with us tonight. So this is really a wonderful, wonderful, and Mary Lindsay is just, oh my goodness. You're talking about a role model. Oh, you want to see a woman who knows how to do it, that's Mary Lindsay. We also are lucky that the incoming chair of our board, who will take office in September, John Nona from Patton and Boggs, is also here. Thank you, John, for coming out and being with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you, John. Thank you. Being modest. You know lawyers aren't modest. But anyway, but I just wanted to say, just two more words, because yes, I got the memo. The Lawyers Committee, we're so proud of this work, but we know that the work's not done, right? We know that we still have so much to do, and we couldn't do it without people like Fred Brewington, who was an inspiration to our legal team in the Garden City case, and a member of your board. You need good lawyers. You need strategic lawyers. You need visionary lawyers. You need creative lawyers. But my goodness, you need inspirational lawyers and people who know how to get along with other people. You see, that is so important. The Garden City case, what was the most important part of that case was that we saw a rarity in the decision, and that was defining that Garden City had intentionally discriminated. Do you know how rare that is to see in any litigation? That is the result of some incredible litigation by Hogan Lolos, by Joe Rich, by Fred Brewington, and everybody who's involved in that team. Keep rolling. You see, our litigation that we've all done against Huntington, against Smithton, all of that litigation that resulted in the $750,000 or $400,000 of which went to fair housing groups to keep doing this work, that's because we fight. And we are not stopped. You see, just recently, Erase Racism has brought new litigation against the towns of Oyster Bay and Island Park. And they've also asked the Department of Justice to look into all kinds of discrimination by Framingham and by others. And we will know that this is important work. In the Lawyers Committee, we also have filed an affirmatively fair housing complaint with HUD against the town of Huntington. And so we're not stopping. You see, we know that until it's really done, till we know our children will live in a different world, that we are not finished. So, as we move forward, remember the incredible words of Desmond Tutu from South Africa. He says, our work, our activism, our struggle writes the book for the future. And he says that I have read that book, and I have read the end of the book, and guess what? We win. Thank you.